My name's Cambra. I'm 34 years old this year, and I'm now a financial advisor at Northwestern Mutual. I changed my career last year in January, and it was funny how I got invited to church. On my last day working at the hotel, that I had a conversation with Fong and shared about a lot of the experiences we both had at the working in the hotel, and that's where I think we're talking about some like problems, issues, and suddenly Fawn asked me, "Do you believe in God?" And it was like, "Yes." And then she was like, "Do you have a home church?" I was like, "I've been here for 3 years and never had a home church." I came with her that Sunday. Remember, we both cried a lot during the sermon. And got introduced to other sisters from the church and studied Bible afterwards. Back in 2008, when I first came to US and worked at the Disney, I did a brief Bible study with the group there at that time, and then I got baptized before I went back to China. But I think it's interesting, during some couples dinner, then Song actually asked me, about timeline. When do you think you were saved? When did you do this? When did you do that? And it was like, I was super confident. I believed in God. I thought I was a disciple. But in terms of the timeline, it was all over the place. I thought I was saved that time, but I didn't really know why. I didn't really know who Jesus was. They invited me to hey, do you want to continue to study Bible? And I was like, yeah, great, That's where I think we started. In China, from where I grew up, there's no religions. Christianity wasn't popular or widely being introduced. I went back home to China in 2008. It was just so hard to join a church. A lot of the local church, it was I think monitored by the government, and because my citizenship, I couldn't join an international church. I think how Fang invited me to church and how this whole timing worked out, it was part of the God's plan. I think at first, during my Bible study, one thing that I couldn't accept is my sin murdered him. After that lessons, I would totally deny what I've done. I was okay to accept the fact that I was part of it, part of the group who murdered him. But during the study, it was like, if it's just for me and he has been crucified just for my sin alone, for me, that was like a game changer. I've never met someone in my life who's pure like Jesus, and he's loving, and his love is really unconditional without me knowing him, without me doing anything to earn the love. I think that's just amazing. I want to be a cheerful giver. The joy that I feel by giving, it's greater than receiving sometimes. From the Bible study, from people that I met at church, and the different way of thinking, I do feel a deeper sense of joy in my heart just by giving. I want to be like Jesus, that humble myself all the time. I was so prideful. I'm still prideful. When I'm humble, I feel like my eyes are open, my ears are open, that I'm able to accept more and receive more in terms of, just putting myself out there. He gave me so much talent, without me asking for it, and I want to make good use of the skills and talent he gave me, and live, my life to its fullest before I go to heaven. I like the fact, I think we're fighting for ways to stay connected. Now we can just worship God together at home in our living room. People find ways to meet and talk about Bible and talk about our life and help each other out. I don't know what format, that's gonna be the new norm for us, but my vision for the church is regardless where we are, we will still be able to connect under God's love.